The drink, we're clicking to the environment. We're clicking to the environment. We're drinking to the environment.
Yes. And we're back. The drink sustainability. Really quick, I just want to like say thank you again for being on the show though. Like this is like awesome, and I also haven't seen you in like so long, so it's so good to see you virtually.
Yes. I've actually gotten to visit a few friends, and I realized just how much like quarantine effect was. Yeah, I miss friends.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
Good to see you.
Yeah, definitely. It's weird because like at first, I mean, you know, I've been having to go to work, so I've been still around people. So I'm fortunate that it didn't really affect me. But I know like a lot of people have been like having like cabin fever and going a little crazy. So like I'm just like, okay, can't complain right now. Just keep on doing it, Just keep on going. But I do. We'll all get through it. Do this whole thing together, though. That's really the main thing I'm trying to say.
For sure.
But, what's called? So we were gonna go into the one habit that I was gonna mention because you reminded me of it. Because we were talking about food and everything. So I was pretty much convinced recently by a significant other and also a documentary that I watched, and so I've been trying a vegetarian diet for a whole week. Yeah.
Nice. I actually tried a vegetarian diet for a few months during this quarantine, so we might have some similar new experiences to compare.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to hear.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll dive into mine, then we'll exchange experiences, and then we'll go into like the projects of Save Barnegat Bay. But I just wanted to share this because so I'm definitely a big like carnivore meat eater. Well, more of omnivore because I love veggies and herbs and all that stuff and meat. But yeah, so when I started this, I was like, all right, fine, man. I'll try it just to see. Like, worst case scenario, it causes me to feel kind of, even worse than I was feeling, which was, and just either I'd have a good experience or I'd have a bad experience and then just go back to the way everything was. So, yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, it's only been a week. So, like, my experience so far, like, hasn't really totally changed like my day-to-day life. Like, I mean, I guess like I just feel a little bit maybe a little bit more awake if anything, but like not like a whole lot of changes like to my mood or like how much energy I have. So like I mean yeah, that's pretty much like for me. I mean because like I also like I have like an inflamed intestinal tract too, which is pretty much like celiac. So I did it for that too, and also obviously environmental reasons. So like so far, I mean, I cheated because I got a glutened bread or gluten filled bread, whatever you want to call it, like regular bread. And other than that, like I've been having like no meat. I can't really stay away from cheese yet, so baby steps. But yeah, I mean everything's been fine. And actually my food bill has actually gone down a little bit, believe it or not. Like I would get, deli meat or, nice chicken or steak or whatever. And like I would be spending like $100. The highest I would ever spend was like 150 because I just bought like everything like snacks and all this kind of stuff. And like I've been really more focusing on just doing smaller amounts just to see how it goes. So yeah, I mean I feel fine still. I feel great. Like my energy hasn't like took a downturn or I haven't like been like, you know, feeling a lot. I haven't been feeling hungry. I mean, sometimes I do just because I just don't eat sometimes, but that's my own damn fault. But other than that, yeah, like, because there's been a lot of like stigmas or viewpoints on like, oh, you hit like a vegetarian, or you know, oh, you're always hungry, you're not even like strong or anything. But like, I watched this one documentary it's on Netflix. Oh, The Game Changers. It's a UFC fighter that like pretty much just went on a huge like researching journey on like dieting and whether vegetarian is good or vegan or just meat eating in general. And I didn't realize that there's a lot of like pro athletes that are all vegetarians. And like they're like, yo, my energy has like doubled and like my recovery time is like through the roof. Like it's awesome. And yo, this one dude, he's like a world's strongest man competitor. He's like a freaking gorilla. And I'm like, all right, well, I mean, gorillas are like one of the strongest in the freaking jungle, and they're freaking huge, and they're vegetarians too. So I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to do it. Why not? Whatever. So, yeah. I'm feeling fine. Nothing changing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just going to keep on doing it just for the hell of it. Just see where it goes. Maybe I'm hoping my my muscle recovery and everything, since I'm like lifting heavy boxes, I'm pretty much working out. So I'm hoping that like with getting enough sleep, my recovery time for my body will increase though.
Yeah. I don't do enough working out to like know about how I felt after a lot of physical activity. Like I have a few things that I do, but nothing that's crazy.
Right.
Nothing that I would need, I guess. Well, the work I do in the water, that definitely requires recovery time. But so for my experience with the vegetarian diet, I tried it for a few months, and I actually really enjoyed it. I did it for environmental reasons. I don't have any moral issue with meat. I have a moral issue with how we produce meat, but I don't have a moral issue with eating other animals. I think that's just the circle of life.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I just, animals hunt other animals. That just seems logical to me. But so I decided that I didn't want to participate in, you know, how our meat is being produced. So I started cutting back, and I found it really easy to do, actually, which I didn't expect it to be easy, because I guess there's that stigma that the only kind of like legitimate protein is from meat products. But one of my favorite things has now, and I'm sticking with this, like even if I do cheats or whatever, like I'll definitely stick with this, is vegetarian burgers. So like when they were first becoming a trendy thing, they were gross. Like I could not find one that I liked. And I have looked for them for years and I would try it at the restaurant or whatever. And like, it was never good, but I found a few different ideas that work. And when I say veggie, I don't just mean like vegetables packed into a patty. I'm talking like, you know, beans or lentils and stuff. And like, at first that sounds really gross, but you can put like roasted red peppers in the like a bean mash and fry it, and it is better than a hamburger to me. Anyway, it's more fulfilling, and I don't feel gross after I eat it, which is really great. Because like, you know, when you eat a big hamburger and fries and a soda, and you're like, that was good.
You kind of have like that like bloated feeling, and you're like, whoa, food going on.
Yes, exactly. So like the veggie version, I don't feel that way. So the other day, shout out to Burger 25. They are so good, and they're a local business.
Oh, Burger 25 has those? They're really good.
Love them. Yeah.
They're in Tom's River, right?
Yeah, they just opened a new location.
Oh.
So that's kind of exciting. I really, really like their food. They have great flavors, and they're local people. They support other local businesses.
Yeah, they are a pretty local business, yeah.
Yeah, they do like promotions where they'll take like donuts from the local donut place and add them to their shakes. So like there's like partnerships. Anyway, I'm a fan. But someone ordered me a meat burger version, and I was like, oh my, I felt so gross afterward, even though it was so good. So now I definitely just stick with the vegetarian option when I go there, because it just makes me feel so much better. So
Right.
biggest advantage has been getting off of red chop meat. It's just, there's, for me anyway, there's really no reason to eat it, because there's so many options that I like better. So I'm excited about it. And definitely cheese is so hard to get rid of. That is like, cheese, I'm Italian, so we have all kinds of delicious cheeses. You know, obviously cheese is not an only Italian thing, but like ricotta and mozzarella, like, oh my God.
Mozzarella.
I
I
can't.
had it.
It's so hard, but I have been trying vegan cheeses too. I switched to non-dairy milk. Like I found pea milk that I really like.
See, that's like too extreme for me. And
Have you
I
tried
actually,
non-dairy milks? Because some of them actually taste good. Like they're
yeah.
not.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I just don't have a desire to do that right now.
Oh, okay. All right, fine.
But no, but I just want to point out something really quick. We're both saying it happens for me. So pretty much what's that? And I love your reaction to that.
What
You're
do
like,
you-
okay, what do you mean? Like,
What?
whatever. No, so the point I'm trying to make is that the diet, like any of these different diets, carnivore diet or all meat diet or whatever, vegetarian diet, vegan diet, whatever. The point that I'm making is that not every diet is for everyone.
Right.
So
That's a
what we're
good
saying is that it's our personal experience. You
Right.
could obviously, go try different things, whatever, do you. But all I'm just trying to highlight is that we're not like, oh yeah, do this vegetarian diet, do this vegan diet, whatever. No, we're just saying, we're just highlighting the fact that we had this experience and we just want to share it with you guys, with everyone watching, and maybe it'll inspire you to do that, or just make even other smaller habits that'll just help your wallet and also help the environment too.
Exactly. I think that's the biggest thing with sustainability. I think people think they have to make these ridiculous commitments, and they don't. They really don't. It can be something so simple and a choice for you, and whatever works for you. There's
Yeah, for sure.
a million different flavors of being sustainable. So
Right. No, exactly. And that's why I'm like, I tried these veggie patties, just like how you were talking about, and they're I want to say beet and kale flavor or something like that. And believe it or not, they're actually really freaking good. Not to mention I just douse it a little bit in barbecue sauce.
oh. Can't let it go.
I put a little bit of a
Can't let it
little,
go.
huh?
You
Oh, come
can't
on,
let it
barbecue
go.
sauce is so good. So good. And
I know.
actually, speaking of vegetarian diet and all that stuff, and vegan, huge shout out to Alternative Plate in Belmar as well. They're on Main Street. It's like this one local dude that owns it. He actually, like, believe it or not, I bought the food knowing that it was vegetarian, but I was like, all right, fine, I'll try it, whatever, why not? So, but it's weird because it's like I had a buffalo chicken pizza. It was obviously fake meat, and then I had a barbecue chicken pizza. I personally love the barbecue chicken pizza the best. I'm just a wuss when it comes to spice, unfortunately. But I'm working my way up. But anyway, yeah, like the taste of the meatless meat is honestly, like, the texture and everything tastes the same.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, and
found it.
I didn't think it would.
No, I mean, there's a lot of substitutes actually that you got to watch, because you don't need to be like eating all carbs, because I think fake meat is often a lot of carbohydrates that are just kind of sugar. So you got to watch for that. But like if you're going out to eat and you're not worrying about that kind of nutritional situation, you're just trying to have you're just having pizza because you like pizza, and that's totally fine. Then yeah, like that, there are so many opportunities for food that you don't even realize, like that people actually cook it and it tastes just like someone, like if someone really can't give up meat. Although I have to point something out. A lot of times people are looking for the flavor of meat and trying not to eat it. And often it doesn't make a lot of sense because then you're trying to imitate something and then it doesn't taste good. So actually, there's a lot of scenarios where you should just give up trying to taste like, give it up, just give up the taste of meat and enjoy the food for what it is. Like,
True.
I'm
Well,
I'm one of those, like, what is it, tempeh bacon? I have not had tempeh bacon that I like. I think it's ridiculous. It's tempeh. It's not bacon. Stop making it try to be bacon.
tempeh bacon? I've never heard of that.
So, do you know what tempeh is?
No.
Okay, so you know what tofu is? Tofu
Oh,
is
yeah, okay.
soy. And so basically tempeh is fermented soybeans. So instead of it being processed soy, which is how they make tofu, fermented tofu beans, which is when a fungus basically eats the soybeans and makes like a cake. And so it's kind of like a cross between eating like a mushroom and a soybean. It's, both, but it's fermented. Anyway, so then it makes like a cake and they slice it just like they would tofu, and it has a different texture. And often tempeh bacon is what I've seen on the menu at vegetarian restaurants and vegan restaurants.
Huh.
And it's one of those things that drives me kind of crazy because tempeh is really good, but when they slather it, in my opinion, in salt and barbecue sauce or whatever it is that they use to make it try to be bacon, I'm like, no, just make tempeh. Bacon is not what I'm trying to eat. For vegetarians anyway, besides like you and I, have eaten meat most of our life, but there's people that just like don't need meat. And so they get frustrated. They're like, I don't eat meat because I don't like how it tastes. Why are you trying to make everything taste like it? So I just had to mention that because it's okay to eat things because you like how they taste. They don't have to imitate something. They don't have to be
It's good
posing.
to like try different things though too.
Yeah.
Like, and it's funny because like I try to go into this like just with no expectation at all, just because I felt like if I did have an expectation, my excitement would just drain. So like that's how I personally went into it, just because of that. Because like going back to like the the tempeh bacon, if you want it to taste like that and it doesn't, then it kind of just gives you figuratively and literally a bad taste in your mouth of trying that kind of food. So
Right.
that's
Right.
just and also like the whole thing is that like trying different diets to like get to a weight or a figure that you're most desired with is awesome. Like more power to you. Like I encourage that 100%. It's just like each diet, like obviously you're gonna have to like really be fully committed and really try hard, but also you like just like how we said before, every diet is not just one diet is not for everyone. Like
Right.
for example, I was talking to my dad about this diet that I'm trying, and I think it was my dad or someone else, but anyway, we were talking about how like certain other people just have a strict meat diet or just strict like vegetarian diet or whatever it was, and as soon as they went on that diet, like their Crohn's disease went away, or their whatever ailments they had just disappeared, and all of a sudden they were off their medication, blah blah blah, like within a week or two. I'm like,
Right.
it's
It's
crazy.
crazy. Well, your stomach is connected to so much more than we give it credit for. So what we eat really does affect a lot more than
tells our brain like how you're feeling and stuff too.
exactly.
So it's really not like your brain that's like, hey, like we need ice cream right now, or we need this, or we need that right now, because that certain food has whatever nutrient that your body's craving right now. It's actually
Right.
your gut telling your brain.
Right.
Crazy. It's
It
insane
is.
though, because it's like I mean, I've heard and kind of researched like how that like the medical field and the food industry have already known this, and then you're like, wait, they have their best. our best interest and stuff. And like, it depends. I'm not I'm not digging on the food industry at all. I'm just digging on, I guess how should I put this? Like, not the government, but I guess like a better word, media, like how they like market everything to us, and we're like, oh yay, give me that.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to be your own advocate.
Excuse me?
You have to be your own advocate.
Yeah, and gotta do your own research.
Exactly.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Ah, I love food. I love it. I love food.
I know, I'm starting to think about what dinner is.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, like, what am I gonna make for dinner and lunch for tomorrow? But what were we gonna do now? All right. Did you want to like add anything to that or?
No, I
Okay.
think we covered it.
But all right. What's it called? Let's go right in for a few minutes about okay, so since you work for Save Barnegat Bay, what was like briefly just tell us like what couple projects that you've done or like started at least. Well, here, let me rephrase the question.
Okay.
Before COVID started.
So
So like before January, like what?
right. Well, so believe it or not, COVID, while it has changed how we do things, it's not changed what we do, if that makes sense.